Hello, this is Faisal. Welcome to the InDesign tutorial. First, let's get to know Adobe InDesign, which is well known to everyone as one of the Adobe family applications. It's a world-renowned tool in printing and video, like Adobe Illustrator, Adobe InDesign, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Acrobat, and Adobe Premiere. But today we will talk about high-quality printing, or more specifically about the programs we use for offline topics. One of the most important of these programs, which is our focus today, is Adobe InDesign. Let's get to know the program together. Adobe InDesign is a program very similar to Illustrator and Photoshop, meaning that when you first use or get to know the program, you will find it very close to Illustrator in terms of tools and usage. As the program has evolved, it has become very similar to Photoshop in terms of shadow, effects, and 3D for fonts. For that, it means it is from the same family or the same group. Anyone who hears its name might think or assume that it is just a program for books, magazines, and newspapers. But in reality, after Adobe InDesign evolved, it started being used for many things, including online applications. You can easily use it, and sometimes do without Illustrator because it can provide up to 80% of the features available in Adobe Illustrator. Therefore, it is a very wonderful program that has simplified many tasks and matters. It is not limited to just giving you a magazine or a book. One of the best things, undoubtedly, about InDesign is what we certainly and specifically call the light program, meaning that the program indeed relies on links. The saving process is always very fast, unlike the times it takes to save in Illustrator or Photoshop, especially Illustrator. It's well known that when you're working on files with a very high size, saving can take a long time. Let's start designing a book in InDesign. While designing the book, we'll reach the best method or explanation that enables you to use Adobe InDesign. We'll go to Create a New and click on it. This box will appear, showing the recently accessed pages that you have used. There are various options for print, web, and mobile, such as here you have iPhone sizes, iPad Pro, iPhone 8 Plus, and so on. The web sizes are ready-made if you want to use them, and of course, they are in pixels. Here you have the print option, which we will use now, God willing. Today, our explanation will be about this method. Alright, we will create a custom document together to start with. I chose in centimeters, first the book size, as we request from you. Today we will explain about A4 measurement. We come to the important and distinctive features in InDesign. First thing, when we choose a book, here it will show you if the book is left to right. If the book is in English, in the English language, here it will show you right to left. What we will use today is, for the Arabic language, from right to left. Here, this is a very important feature, which is the facing pages. What are facing pages? When we choose the number of pages, let's say we choose 16 pages, it will place 5 pairs of pages side by side. This makes it easier for you in the layout, and if you don't like it, you can choose to have each page individually, meaning the pages will be one below the other, of course. We choose how many pages you want. We explain 16 pages based on how many pages you want. Based on what you receive from the client or according to the number of pages in the book or magazine, etc. Okay? Let's choose together and give it here. We name it, of course, initially opening InDesign or the Adobe InDesign interface. As we mentioned at the beginning of the video, it is very similar to Illustrator and Photoshop. I mean, if you look here, you will find the tools are quite similar to some of the tools in Photoshop and Illustrator. Here you have the text tool, the black arrow, and the white arrow. We also have here A gradient tool is an essential feature in graphic design software, allowing users to create smooth transitions between colors. Yes, it is a versatile tool. The square tool, on the other hand, is crucial for bringing images into InDesign, a popular desktop publishing software. This tool helps in placing and adjusting images precisely within your layout. You have this tool at your disposal, in addition to a variety of other features that enhance your design capabilities, such as text wrapping, layer management, and alignment options. These tools collectively empower designers to create visually appealing and professional layouts efficiently. Alright, now we're going to talk about the pages. As we can see here, it starts with the number of pages you selected at the beginning. It opens them for you, of course, as we mentioned, because we set it to right. So it will open them for you from right to left. So it starts with the first page, then 2, 3, and you see this topic we talked about. You can control it, scroll down, and you'll find it. That it takes the program's interface. Or enter base down. Alright, talk about the most important feature in the InDesign program, which provides speed in working on books, magazines, or newspapers. So, about what? Give speed in work, whether it's working on a book, a magazine, or newspapers. We will go to a master and view it. It will show us a facing page. As we selected, let's find out what the A master is. As you can see, the A master consists of just 2 pages. There are no other pages under the A master. Anything you place on the A master, whether it's the page number, the page design, a layout, a color, or anything else you want to use. In the book, you will find it applied to all pages, even if there are 1,000 pages. This is the important thing in InDesign, and we need to understand it from the beginning. This is the most crucial stage in setting up the book, which is the master. And I always say that if you work on the first 12 steps correctly in the magazine, you're set. You can finish it in 2 hours. The rest is just about formatting the font sizes, the spacing between lines, arranging and adjusting the images, and choosing the colors. But the most important thing in InDesign is arranging the steps so that you work at the beginning of the book by focusing on it. Then you will find that after this, everything is fast. Okay, start with something, and you will find it. As we said, anything you need, you'll find it on all the pages, even if your book is 1,000 pages. Now, with InDesign, as we can see, it provides you with design tools and colors. Here, for example, you can see, or I have it here, which is, the colors. How you can, for instance, open a box, design on it, and choose colors. At the same time, it also gives you the ability to place or bring in your images from Illustrator and Photoshop, if you have a design on Illustrator or you've done the layout itself on Illustrator, and want to bring it into InDesign. It provides you with this feature and allows you to control it in a very easy and smooth manner, such as very easily and smoothly. Let's see together how this process works. Am I preparing something from Illustrator or setting up a layout from Illustrator? I want to bring it into InDesign, and it's the book layout. There's a shortcut called Command-D or Control-D on Windows, which allows you to place. Or you can go to File, and then to Place. And you choose from here. In Adobe InDesign, we have support. I have prepared the files, and I call it a master, which is, as we see it in this form. Of course, I did it quickly, because the purpose is to explain and use the program. Of course, on Illustrator, you select it, and you'll find it comes here in InDesign. Of course, I set the size on Illustrator to A4 because today, or as we mentioned, we are going to use the A4 size. If you want it smaller or larger than A4, you can easily enlarge or reduce it in InDesign, as is well known, and as we can see in the method. But I want to go back to F4. Okay, I took this page, and we will deal with it because the Arabic book will have this page on the left, which is page 1. And here is page 2, which will be the odd page, and here will be the even page on the right. Okay, let's see, for example, how, as we said, like Illustrator.jpg, there are things called align, Do you have something here called what? To be able to control the position of the page. It's well known to many, or if you're new here, we can go over it by yourself. We click on it. Here, we choose. I redo the challenge. I will move it to the left and bring it up, so it covers the entire page or stays on the page. Okay, I want it to be on the even page, but of course, we will flip it. I will get the black arrow and edit it normally. I choose from here to make a duplicate or copy. I choose the one that is 21 in width and make a copy. You will find it has moved to the even page. So, how can we flip it? Either from the tool here or from here, you will find it above on the toolbar. You do a horizontal flip, and you will find it. Connected here. At the bottom, perfectly. Now that we have done the layout on the master, and figured out what we can do, let's move on to the second task we did. After the layout, which is the subway. Before we move to the second step, we need to see what we talked about, and how it turned out. Of course, by pressing W, the guides disappear, and you can view the full page when you press the W key alone in InDesign. This is a very nice shortcut in InDesign. Okay, we find that there are 16 pages. I have 16 pages in InDesign, and they covered the topic we discussed. Okay. I'm going back to the master because we haven't finished with the master yet. Now, one of the very important steps in InDesign, which also distinguishes it, is that it provides speed in work or is one of the most important things. I have a book with 1,000 pages or 100 pages or a magazine with 16 pages. It must have a number because there is no book in the world without a number. Let's see how we want a number on the A master so that all the pages take the A master's number. We choose the text tool to see where I want to create a box as we see. I choose here the tool. Carefully. I see where I want to create a box like we are seeing here. I acted like I was going back to the black arrow. I choose here what I have. All right? Okay, we can go back to our line and center it in the page description. All right. We lift it up a little, go back to the text tool. Let's focus now on the shortcut I'm going to mention, which is the page numbering shortcut on InDesign. Now I will press Command-Alt-Shift and the letter N in English. As we can see, I don't have a number showing, but the letter A appears. The shortcut again for Windows devices, for those working on Windows, is the letter N in English. You'll find it here. Now, this number, or the letter A, should be in the middle of the box we see, because we created it on the same page. I will go to the paragraph and see where the paragraph is. We center the number, without any price in the middle of the box we chose. You can enlarge it up to 15 or 17, and if you see the box is big, you can adjust it as well. You can enlarge it up to 17 or 17, depending on what you find suitable. And if you see the box is big, you can also adjust it like this, and you lower it to this limit, which is the guidelines that InDesign has set for us. You should adhere to them, and we will explain why. Okay, you should align the letter L to this limit. Now, it's about the page numbers, specifically the odd pages, because we started working on the odd pages. So, when you go to the book here, you'll find the odd pages are numbered, but if you look here, there's no number. For the even page, I go back to A master. Again, I select the number box that we placed on the odd page, and with Alt, I drag it normally, just like the regular duplication we know from Photoshop or Illustrator. There you go, it's duplicated. I go back to align it here, placing it in the middle of the page like this. Now you will discover that, as you can see, I have numbered both the odd and even pages together. I will start from here, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six, 7, 8, everything is fine. Now we have set the number of pages, chosen the facing pages, selected the Arabic language opening, chosen the layout, and applied it to all the masters. Now, the important step is how I will bring in the text, or how I will open the text box, and how I will bring the text into InDesign all at once, which is the text. Wait, how I will come to InDesign all at once and control it all at once. Not every time I need a page I go to Word and do copy and paste like most people use. No, InDesign makes these things easier for you, and you can use it. In other cases, if you need speed, or if your book is only 4 pages, or something small, you might use it, or if something didn't work out with the place, you might use this method. The topic is that you are trying to, and copy from Word and paste it into InDesign, but we are not going to work with this method. We want to see this quick method with us, which is also method number 3, which is establishing the book, and it's a very important method. I select the text tool again, go back to it, open a box here normally, take it with the black arrow, drag it here, and pull it here. Now, I drag it like this according to the guidelines set by InDesign. If you want to increase or decrease it, it's essential that the space is centered here, away from the fold edges. The fold edges, or the brush, as I call it, of the book, if you wanted to add the phone to InDesign, it would give me 1.2 or 1.3 centimeters from all sides. You can add 1.5 or 1.6 centimeters for everything. I have a link here, a connection. Or if you don't like it, you can simply skip this step, and we'll continue our work. Now that we've opened the box, we carefully place it in the shape that we want. We try to take as much as we can from the page so that the text remains. We went a little below the number. Now we've worked on the odd page, like the number. We'll repeat the same image on the even page. Take it with Alt, drag it, and place it here. Go to Align and make it center. Go to Align and make it center, night by night. Now I have it on the odd page and the even page, which is the text block. But the most important thing now, which I consider a step on its own, so we say, it's step number 4, and a very important step is to create a link between the blocks about the master, so that when I bring the text from the Word program, it takes all the pages, not just one page. So what do? I select it, or I make a link to the even page here. I go to the box on the left side here at the bottom, and I find that it has created a link shape for me. I just move the cursor or the mouse, and you'll see it has created a link or connection symbol. I click on it. The two text blocks are now linked together, so the book has become a complete sequence of pages from 1 to 16 or 1,000 pages, depending on how many pages you have, as we mentioned. Okay, We need to know that we are explaining the most important basics of InDesign that will help you proceed with the rest of the work. There are many things you will learn, but we will continue together to reach the most important or fastest way to achieve your design. Now that we have created a link, which is a very important step, we will go to a page. File. I go to the page that ends with number 1. Now, how do I bring the text from Photoshop? Or excuse me, the text from Word? It also depends, as we mentioned, on when we brought the layout from Illustrator, which is the topic of place that we said is shortcut by Ctrl-D or Command-D. We go to File here and click on Place. It will take me to the Word file that I prepared for this topic. We select it and click Open. Now it loads into the section. And now, it is loading the entire text. Okay. Let me say that we are at a very important step right now, and we call it step number 5, which is abbreviated as a shortcut to a very easy method. That will make it easy for us to link all the pages together in one click or in one click. See how together. You will find that when you bring from Word or bring a Word file to the InDesign, you will find that the cursor or the arrow has been changed in the form. So I will click and see how the form has changed. See together how the shape changes. I'm pressing and haven't done anything yet, but I want to tell you how the shape changes. Now, I'm pressing and doing it here. After we saw that it took everything and added text or linked all the pages together until we had opened the line. This is a really nice feature in InDesign. We had made 16 pages, but since the text was large, it added pages on its own until we reached 26. A feature in InDesign is that while you're working, you will find that either the number of pages increases or decreases. This plays a role in the spacing between lines, the font size, and whether there are images or not. Now that you've linked all the pages together, we've worked on one of the 5 most important steps, which is establishing the master. We created the numbering, linked the text frames, and ensured a flow or brought in a Word file for all the pages in an easy and smooth way. Alright, now, when you want to make sure that everything is linked, just select all by using Command-A or Control-A, and you'll find that it has selected all the pages. So, how does this benefit us? It helps us in many ways, including if I want to change the font of the entire book with one click. Just go to the Character panel, which you can access with Command-T or Control-T, or you might. You can also bring it up from the window menu here, and you'll find it under the name character. I choose the appropriate font type for me or the one I want. It's currently loading the font, Cindy. We choose a regular Arabic font or the appropriate font for books, like the fonts we used to work with in the past. These were called XT Muna, or Muna, or something like that. Those were the readable fonts we used. Okay, I've reached the Arabic fonts here. There's a font called Baghdad that we can use. We can choose these new fonts here. There's the Giza font. I see it as a nice and readable font. Okay, we can choose the Giza font. Alright, we clicked, or we selected this font. Okay. At this moment, you will come to realize that it is not merely your fondness for the Giza line or the particular line that you prefer. This realization extends to all pages, encompassing every single page related to Giza. Each and every page, without exception, is included in this understanding. The Giza line, along with all associated pages, forms a comprehensive collection that you appreciate. This includes all pages, every single one, related to Giza, ensuring that nothing is left out or overlooked in this extensive compilation. It is originally bold in Word, and when it came to InDesign, it remained bold, as you can see. We haven't made anything bold yet, so it took the bold from Word and kept it in the same font. So always make sure that the font you use in InDesign has bold, regular, and medium options so you can handle things coming from Word. Alright, we don't want to see it now. I will do a select all for all pages again in an easy way. I just clicked here in the block, and did Command A or Control A. Because now I basically, and essentially want to align the text so that it starts in an orderly manner, meaning it starts from the right and ends here in an orderly way, for the aesthetics of reading or to ease the eyes while reading. So I do select all, go to Window again, down to Paragraph. Here I choose it. I choose the shapes I have here in center. Of course, I'm definitely not choosing center, because I always like to use this in designs, which is this one. You will find that it has unified the spaces and everything is fine and nice. We will go back to the first page, and I have reached the things we need to change. And everything is fine and nice. We go back to the first page as soon as I reach a page I talk about. The things that will be brought here that have changed here, how can I address them? Let's click on the paragraph and proceed as we did. Here, these things should be zeroed out, which are the initial spaces, before or after the gap. So, whenever you get a file from Word or do a place, you get a Word file on InDesign, you zero it out, so you can work comfortably. Here again, always zero it out, so you can start fresh. Now, the text that appeared here, how can I address it? If this is the case, I go to this here, to lie as aptat again here, to lie as aptat again here, to lie as aptat. This method is for aligning them together because, look, together again, we go back and select first. For example, if you see that the text is too close together, you go back. You increase the spacing between the lines to 23 or 24. Now, the font size should be what you find suitable. I set it to 12. No, 12 is too small. I think 16 is perfect. You can make everything 16. Okay, once again, we want to explain the paragraph. What I'm going to do now with the book is, I will select again the first. You will find here that I want to adjust the spacing, or the spaces between text blocks or between paragraphs. Between paragraphs, I mean. Here we see that it ends with Southwest and then we have the beginning of a paragraph which is the population definition. So, how do I make the population section distant from the paragraph above? Here, for each paragraph in the book, I will work on it because I selected all. I come here and click. Sorry, this is with the alignment. From right to left, you might have this, I click on it here. I have. Okay, a very large centimeter, I can adjust it to a centimeter according to what you find suitable or 3 millimeters. As you browse through the book on InDesign, you will find that there are things you need to do. Remove the space from them. And if you see once again that the issue requires you to add more, you can come back here again and make it 1/2 centimeter. Very nice, 1/2 centimeter is perfect because it took from the swatches, which are the colors, or for example, I see the word Palestine, I can adjust it. How can I adjust it? I go to character, which we mentioned is from window, I go to type and find it, and I have character. We see that there is a line under the word Palestine. How can I adjust it? If it's not visible here, you will find it above, indicating that there is a line under the word. I just remove it. As for the colors, I also want something nice in the layout. I want to unify all of them. The pages with one color, black. Then I start coloring, for example, coloring the beginning of paragraphs. So, you want to start coloring the site, coloring the sections. Once again, Ctrl-A or Command-A means select all. So, I go here and choose the color I want. It should always be available on the Design tab, which is the swatches. Swatches can also be found under Window, and you'll find it here. Choose black, and you will find that the entire book or all the pages have turned into the one color you selected, which is black. Then, I go back again and do select all. Why did we do select all? To remove the line from all the words or the underline from all the words. Click on it after. It works for everyone. I go back and click on it again, and you will find that it has removed it from everything. This feature is very nice and easy. Now we have finished the 6th or 7th step, which is a very important step where we unified the text color of all the pages. We adjusted the spacing between paragraphs, the spacing between lines, and ensured that the text starts with the block and you with the block. Now, what we want to see is that the usage will occur according to what your book requires and what it asks you to include, such as images or colors. Now you should create a page or start creating a page. For example, the site can be in red color. The residence in red, and the history in red. Look how nice the writing has become, by the way. We allowed it. Of course, I have a text that I brought about Palestine, and I repeated it on the same pages, on Word, because the text was short, so I had to repeat it. We are explaining, so it doesn't matter where the text is from, or what it looks like, because what matters to us is the explanation. Also here, you're dealing with it, I press on the block Enter to reach the next page. For example, if I want to start a new page, I press Enter and reach the next page. Also, this method, as we said, you can do it this way. Enter. Enter on what? I reach the next page as well. This method is like ours. We talked about it. Can you do it this way? You put it out like this? Oh, 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 oh. depending on what you see as appropriate, and as you deem necessary. I also go back and carefully color in red. This is also according to the board link. I press on the side that requires the necessary steps to enter to reduce the. From here, I am here to ensure accuracy. The issue of spacing between, you can adjust the character and the space between the text and the paragraph, and the beginning of the paragraph. You can set it to 0, depending on what you see as appropriate. No, it's fine. Here we set it to 0, we're moving something. Okay, now there's something I want to talk about, and it's very important. Also, the layout or the link you brought from Illustrator after you placed it on InDesign and started working. If you find that you want to edit it or change something, like changing the shape or color, etc., how can you change it? A very quick way is to go back to the master here, or depending on where the link was located, very quick. For example, here you have the color. The red one, or if you want to remove something, for example, we remove this from above, and I'm focusing on the fact that we remove something from above. I save on Illustrator, and I'll find it. I go back to InDesign, and when I save on Illustrator and go back to InDesign, I'll find it removed from all the pages very quickly. The next step we're talking about is if you have images in InDesign and you want to add a picture of a farm. Here, we're talking about Jerusalem, and I want to bring a picture of Jerusalem. Put a picture of Jerusalem that serves the topic or talks about the subject. How can I bring it? Also, as we mentioned, place, which is Command D or Control D. I click on it, go and choose the image from my files. Here, I have, of course, prepared a picture of Jerusalem. I clicked Open. Now, when I want to resize this image in InDesign, I will find that when I select with the arrow from above here, I can create a mask like the one in Illustrator. There's another tool, which is this tool, shortcut E, called Free Transform. I click on it, and just like in Photoshop or Illustrator, I can resize the image with Shift. I will resize the image from here, from the corner, and it will shrink with me. Now, how do I want to place the image inside a text box? Meaning, when I want to increase the font size or press Enter, the image remains aligned with the text or moves with the text, and shifts from page to page, for example. I will center it and align it, placing it in the middle of the page or wherever I want. I select the image and, while holding Shift, I select the text block. Then I go to the window and choose this option. I adjust the amount and then revert the amount. I choose this shape. There are several shapes for the spacing between them, but we will choose this shape that we see here. Click on it when we select the image with the text block. As we can see, they will overlap. Try to align, or if I want this image to come after the end of this paragraph, which is after the year 1917, press Enter, 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 Enter. You'll find that it moved down and took the image in the appropriate way. Now, I also want to talk about an important step or there is something very useful about how to unlink pages from the master. Meaning, when I make a selection here, I can't choose anything. I can't select it. Look at how I want to choose this. There are two ways, and the easier way, which has a shortcut, is to use Command and Shift and click on the things I want. I will find Unlink, as we see, and I can close it for this page, for example, if I don't want the master on this page. I found its shortcut again, which is Command and Shift, and I press it like this, and I find that it. And you need to make sure that it unlinks from the master or a page that has nothing to do with it or unlinks from the master. Okay, now after we've seen the first method, which is a shortcut, there's also another way. Specify the page number here. The page number I want is 7. And I right-click on it. I press right-click, and I have this option here. If all master page items, I click on it, I will find that page 7 has also been separated from the topic of images and the issue. Now I want to explain something. That makes it easier for everyone and is simple, which is at the beginning of paragraphs. So I don't have to grab and select and decide that, oh, I want this font to be bigger in this color, and every time I select it and press on it. So what can I do? There is something in InDesign called character style and paragraph style, which saves the things you do to a word, text, or specific paragraph. Now let's work on the site. I will apply it to the first word, which is, of course, the beginning of the book's creation, and we will change its color. Thank you. We are making a color in navy blue. 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 Or comment, I want to increase its size more. From 16, make it 20, now it's bigger. Now, I will apply properties. If I want to make the word shotgun in the same way, I will go back, choose color, and increase. This takes time in the book when you have large pages. What is the character style or how it makes it easier for us? Let's see the character style. I go to Window. Choose character style from here, and I will find it available in, in styles. It's available here in styles. I choose character styles, and I will find it opened here. All I have to do is click on this, of course, while I have the word I want selected. Or if I want to take its properties, I just have it selected here and click on this, and I will find the character style appeared for me, and I can rename it. I can name it C1. We're done with the word location. How do I make the scan like it? With one click? I come and select scan, and just like that, it becomes the same. The same goes, for example, with this line, we did it entirely. And so on for all the pages I want. All the pages I want. This was something important and very nice, and also a feature of InDesign, as it speeds up the work or the movement in the program. Alright. Now we will return to the topic of the B master. We will go to the pages. The topic of master. Here, we go to the. Yes, I have, another time, here. I want to explain that all our slides were initially based on establishing the book on the A master. Let's consider that the 16 pages we worked on were a chapter in the book, or a chapter that was in red. Now I want to do something in yellow or orange. If you are starting a new chapter, how do I apply this? I go back to the A master I have here. I want to do something called B master, meaning I clicked. Here, I go to. Yes, I specify if it was. That's it. The number of pages. Let's say 2. I find it appeared here below. Okay. Now, B master, I really want to start a new chapter. Let's take, from here, I come to this, I do it like this, for example, in this green color. This is it. I am currently working on B master. It will not appear on these pages that we made. We will make a way for it to appear. I definitely choose like this. I absolutely choose like this. I want to do. I do. I do. I do. I do. We create a number and return to a master and choose copy, Command C. When you want to paste in InDesign in the same place, press all the keys. Command, Alt, Shift, or Control, Alt, Shift, and press V to get the same number. As we can see, it took it at B level. Alright, now we finish the chapter and the life we talked about. I want to move to the new chapter. I will go to its end, which had 40. I will find between and my solution 31. 41 starts here. I want this page to become B master. What I do is, actually, indeed, essentially, basically, in fact, either delete all these extra pages. I deleted them all. But here I didn't delete. Because I find myself in a situation where my perspective is divided. On one hand, I am witnessing a withdrawal, and, on the other, I am holding on to the hope that someone will provide a comment or feedback. This is important to me because it directly impacts what I am trying to accomplish and the actions I am taking. I go to create a new section or the beginning of a new section. I need to specify it here. I click on this. I want to insert pages. I want the new section to be 12 pages. I choose which master I want to apply to this new section. I choose the B master that we made in green. I click on it, and it should come after page 40, with a total of 12 pages. You will find that it has taken the shape of the number and the shape of the new master, or the B master, which is the B master. Maybe it's here, with these names. Now, after I finished my book, and everything is fine, and the client approved it, and everything is good, I was asked to export it to the printer or to make an export for printing. The process is very easy, and I don't want any complications. You don't need to send or attach the InDesign package file, or send the links, images, and fonts. Simply go to File, choose Export, and I want it to be an Adobe PDF, suitable for printing. I just make it here as Adobe PDF Print. To the file by selecting the option in the menu, and then proceed to click the Save button, which will subsequently display the properties. High quality print, press print, all sides. When you send it for proofs via email, I always prefer it to be either press quality or high quality print. Both are correct and both are fine. Here are the options I have. If there is a bleed, you set the bleed from the beginning, you apply the bleed you want. You need to set crop marks, which are the cut marks for printing. I just need to export it to go to print. The nice thing about InDesign is that it does this and exports it. The file size is light, so it finished quickly. It completed the export, and we're done with the process of sending it to the printer or the client. This was our explanation for today. The basics of InDesign, how I can quickly reach a book design. Of course, InDesign is a vast world, but I wanted to summarize and reduce the information to get to the most important things in it, which in my opinion, the most important thing in InDesign is the A master and B master, or how you work on the master. I hope that my explanation of InDesign today is conveyed to you in an appropriate and smooth way, and that you comprehended and understood, reaching the desired result or the goal in learning the InDesign. Thank you for watching.